Hi, my name is Jennifer, and this is Andrea Johnson. She's our tasting room manager, and I'm the director of direct-to-consumer sales here at Pepperbridge Winery. When the season starts, in April, we start our food and wine pairing experience here at the winery. We host that on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays every weekend, and we're closed right now, so we can't do that. So we decided to have our own food and wine pairing experience. We pulled stuff from our own pantries and decided to try and do a pairing with snacks. So this is a little different for us. Typically, we are partnering with Chef Richard Hadaway. He and his wife own Hadaway's on Alder, which is a spectacular Southern style restaurant. And they've been doing amazing things for our food and wine pairing experience for the last 2 years. This is the best we could do without their help. So this is what Andrea and I cooked up today. So we've never done this. This is completely crazy for us. But we're gonna see what happens when we pair our big red Bordeaux style blends with snack foods. We have the Trine, which is our Bordeaux blend, the Cabernet Sauvignon, which is our Cabernet Sauvignon, and then a Merlot. They're all blends. They're not a straight varietal of anything. So they typically have most of the Bordeaux varietals in them. Our wines are big in acidity and tannic structure. So when they're new, they tend to be a little more tight or restrained in their flavor profile. So that's why we ask that you age these wines if you have patience. Nobody has patience anymore. So the next best way is to show them off with food. Fat is your best friend when pairing wines with big acidity and big tannic structure. Salt is great. Salt helps kind of tamp down that bitterness that you can get from tannins. And then just matching acidity with the acidity of the wine. This is not an acid-driven food palette we have today. This is a snack-driven food palette. Yeah. So we're gonna concentrate on the salt and the fat. Our first dish is some salted pistachios. Second dish is my gourmet popcorn. The third dish,
it was labeled as a Santa Fe style trail mix, gourmet Cheez-It, and then of course my favorite, peanut butter pretzels.
So yums. So first I'm gonna do a little, let's do a little sniffy poo before we start. It just came out. So this is actually really expressive right now. Sometimes, like I said, in the beginning of their life, they tend to be a little more reserved or restrained. A lot of fruit on this, really expressive. And then taste. So when you have these wines without food, what I experience most is texture. So I get the mouth watering from the acid, kind of makes your mouth water, and then the tongue drying from the tannins. Yes. Those kind of overpower the flavors for me. So it's more of an experience than a flavor.
Do you have any predictions for this lineup?
For the Trine, or just in general?
For the Trine.
I'm thinking maybe the Santa Fe mix for the Trine. What's your prediction?
I'm thinking probably the Cheez-Its.
So let's dig in. Cheers.
Cheers.
I cheated and got, you know, wonderful lightly salted pistachios at the start.
Pistachios are always greener than I think they're gonna be.
But they've got that kind of fatty meat. Still pretty tannic. The salt helps a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been waiting for this part. So, I told you I was a popcorn snob.
That's how I got her to do this with me.
Yeah.
By the way.
I love popcorn. So if I'm left to my own devices at home, the first thing I'm gonna make for dinner is popcorn. And I typically have it with wine or beer. We have a local farm here in town called Hayshaker Farm. They're all organic. And they make these cute little bags of Amish butter popcorn. So I like to use local if I can. This is one of my tricks. Bragg's nutritional yeast seasoning. Excellent on popcorn. It's got kind of like a nutty Parmesan flavor. And it just adds some depth and complexity to your popcorn. The other thing I like to use is, I have it down there, it's empty, some truffle salt that I got from Met Market in Seattle. So let's dig in. Yeah. Still getting those tannins, you know, still it's a little mouth drying for me. We're gonna move on to the Santa Fe mix. Oh yeah, spices at the end. It's a sleeper spice. Not bad. It does start to get rid of the tannins, but it's kind of masking the flavor of the Trine. The other thing you run into with spice, you have to be careful, is that spice with big red wines that have tannic structure, what's gonna happen is when you have that red wine with the spicy food, it's gonna exacerbate the spice in the food, so make the food taste hotter.
That's what that meant.
Yeah. And then it makes the wine taste hotter too. And what I mean by hotter is like more alcoholic. Like you just took a shot of vodka. You get that kind of burning. Not a great pairing with spicy food. Your best pairing with spicy food, hands down, is Riesling. Like a Riesling with a little bit of residual sugar.
Just a little.
So good. And it can be like an $8 bottle from the grocery store, and some cheap spicy Thai food knocks it out of the park every time. Okay, let's dig into that Cheez-It.
All right.
Let's see if your prediction. Interesting about this. It's helping with the tannins.
It makes it cheesier.
It makes it cheesier. So it elevates the Cheez-It, but the wine kind of takes a back seat.
That's really
But it's so much more cheddar.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
That's crazy. Now to do the peanut butter pretzel. I gotta be honest. That's the best pairing. That's really good.
The finish was really nice. I got a little bit more of the salt with everything.
Yeah, that salt really helps. And it's starting to bring the fruit out in the Trine a little more.
Just gonna finish that.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Bottoms up. Cool.
This is fun.
I know, right? Fun with food.
Okay, so next up, the 2016 Cabernet Sauvignon, and we're just gonna do it all again.
Prediction.
Right? Oh, what's your prediction?
Well, I was already wrong, so I'm gonna go with the Cheez-It on the cab.
Okay.
Because the cab has a little bit more like oomph to it. So that's my prediction.
Okay.
Yours?
Based on nothing more than I'm just rooting for it, I'm gonna say the pistachio.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I just really want it to pair well with something.
So 2016 cab, start at the beginning.
Yeah,
Pistachio.
It's still not my favorite, but
It brings out
it's a
kind
little
of
floral to me.
Yeah, it brings out a different component of the wine. It's interesting, but it does kind of elevate that greenness in the pistachio too. Popcorn.
Really bright.
Bright, and it brings out kind of a dusty quality, like a minerality. Interesting.
I like it.
Santa Fe mix.
Spice right in the middle.
Trail mix would be good. Maybe just a touch less.
It would be a
Heat.
different trail mix.
For sure. Not bad. It actually
Ooh.
takes away the tannins, and there's a finish there, but I can't taste it.
Cheez-It. Okay.
It tempers the tannins a little bit. You're starting to get a little more fruit. It's interesting. You know what'd be super fun is to taste this with an older vintage. I think that would be killer. Because you get more of that, you know, those complexities and the smooth finish. Peanut butter pretzel. Not gonna lie, that peanut butter pretzel is really
good.
killing it.
Yeah.
You know, the peanut butter is just a tiny bit sweet. You don't want to go too sweet because these wines have a lot of acidity. But the salt is key, and it really brings out the flavors in the wine. Super cool.
Last but not least, 2016 Merlot. Any predictions?
I mean, I could go easy and say the peanut butter pretzel.
It is. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm just calling that right here.
Yeah, we're just gonna go with peanut butter pretzel.
I don't think the pistachios are going to go real well.
You don't know. Not as bad as you'd think.
No.
I think because the pistachios have that rich butteriness to them and they're a little darker. That Merlot.
Interesting.
She's a dark beauty.
All right.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Shocking. Popcorn. I don't know if it's just in a good place. I don't know if it's because it's so rich that it stands up to everything, but that Merlot with those first two, I mean, there's flavor, there's, you know, freshness. It's really good. Gets me every time.
The real test.
Yeah.
Fine.
Tastes like red wine.
Yeah.
Cheez-It. I'm gonna make a Cheez-It
Cheez-It.
sandwich.
Pop it. Twist it.
This is fun. No, they kind of kind of fight each other.
Yeah.
It kind of exacerbates the tannins, which is odd. We have a style in our wines, and so you'd think they're made by the same winemaker, they're the same style of wine. You'd think they would have similar characteristics and they would pair with the same things. They really don't. These two guys usually they can pair similarly with things. This one is always different. And that is not. That's my least favorite pairing, is with the Cheez-Its. So don't eat Cheez-Its with our Merlot.
Turns out.
Yeah,
Turns out.
bad idea. And peanut butter pretzel.
Not as good as I thought it was gonna be.
No, we both got shut down on that one.
Oh my goodness.
You know what it did? It highlighted the peanut butter,
Yeah.
but not the wine.
Weird.
So crazy. I think the best pairing with the Merlot was the pistachio.
Yeah.
And then the best pairing with the Cab was the peanut butter pretzel. And then the Trine.
Cheez-It.
Cheez-It.
That was really exciting.
Yeah. If we do nothing else today, we did this.
Yeah.
And I think it was good.
I think it was really good.
Thank you guys for joining us. We might try this again with some different food. Attaways is opening back up tomorrow, so maybe we can convince them to make us a little.
I think that'd be stellar. If you have anything in particular that you want us to try, send us a comment, call us, send us an email, whatever mode suits you.
Airplane message, whatever. Yeah, that would be great. It can be challenging, it can be, confusing, it can be exciting, but we really like to kind of push the boundaries and get people outside their comfort zone and try vegetables and seafood and snack foods. Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for tuning in today.
See you next time.